Blessings of Russ and the All-Father upon you, legionaries. I have consulted the runes, and the runes say...
I am the best. I am the best swordsman. Ha! I am the best swordsman.
Welcome to another episode of the Best Swordsman series. I am your host, LCFR. Cheers to Russ and the Allfather. Space Wolves are going to be an incredible faction. I can feel it, and you're going to feel it too once you see these new cards. Today, I'm going to look at all the cards that have been spoiled so far, so if you haven't caught those on various platforms, one, join those platforms, follow Horus Legions on Twitter, check out the Discord, check out the Reddit, but you can catch them here, that's fine. Then, for those of you who have already seen all the spoilers, you can jump straight to the new cards, if you're so inclined. But savor the moment. Slow roll it. Watch it all unfold. It's going to paint a very compelling story for a very strong Legion, I think. I'm very excited for Space Wolves on May 9th.
You know a Legion's gonna be meant for aggro, or for some crazy mid-range, when the first card that gets dropped on us is 2 energy, and a 1/3 that is very quickly gonna get bigger. How, you ask? Read and Weep Pack does something after a friendly unit attacks. Now that's unit, so that includes your Warlord. So after your Warlord attacks, a unit with Pack is going to have its ability trigger. In the case of Ansvar, it's going to get +1 strength. That's permanent. So you're playing your Ansvar on turn 1, attack with the Warlord, you've got a 2/3. Next turn, attack again with the Warlord, you've got a 3/3. Attack for 3, and once it's attacked, it's going to become a 4/3. And the cool thing about the Pack keyword is that it has all kinds of different benefits for different units. So the Thorbrand Hunter Squad isn't getting +1 strength just like the Ansvar Grey Slayers. The Thorbrand Hunter Squad is dealing random damage after it attacks. So you basically have a little Karn, or you can imagine it like a Talat's Changers for attacking troops. And keep in mind, Pack is for friendly units. That includes itself. So the Hunter Squad will attack, and then it will deal a random damage. And it will also deal that any time a friendly troop attacks. I can't get over how powerful this is going to be with just one extra friendly body on the ground. We've seen one Warlord so far, one of the epic Warlords of the eventual 4 Warlord set. It's Geigor Fellhand. And the first thing you need to know about Geigor is that he's Berserk. What is that? Well, read this. That's what it is. Berserk is kind of a downside drawback ability. You don't really want to have Berserk, not for any reason I can think of. Berserk forces you to act every turn. That doesn't mean attack. You just have to act. You have to perform some action. In Geigor's case, it's kind of cool because he's not like Angron who just has to run himself into a wall. Geigor can choose as his act just to activate his ability and deal damage. So he's basically dealing 2 damage base to any unit he wants, which is a pretty common ability for a lot of Warlords, but very good. And so we've seen Pack, we've seen an awesome Warlord, but now it's time for a new keyword, Ward. Can't be targeted by enemy tactics or abilities. Let's understand how powerful this is. This unit cannot be targeted by any tactics out of your hand. Can't be targeted by enemies that can activate an ability to damage it. Can't be targeted by enemy troops that have rally abilities. Yes, that's correct. These units cannot be targeted by Ambassador Malgator. Those were cool, but you know what else is cool? Yes. Without further ado, new cards. The first tactic to be revealed, the Underverse. This card is inspired by the story of the 13th Great Company, which, while pursuing the Thousand Suns after Prospero, were lost in the Eye of Terror, only to reappear 10,000 years later in the 40K universe. I love time loops, or what I hope leads to time loops. I like time travel. And this is a weird card. but I love weird cards. Return your troops to your deck and reduce their cost to 0. So you're going to take all your troops that are on the board. You're going to put them in your deck. Okay? Draw a card for each troop returned. Okay, so you can literally shuffle a handful of troops or however many troops back into your deck and then draw them back out for free. So that's obviously got crazy impact for any rally troops. That's got crazy impact for Goldstones hunters. And I don't want to hammer home just neutrals today, but we don't know the full Space Wolf set yet, so it's hard to fully predict how many tools we'll have to play with, but most legions have a fast unit. I'm sure they'll have a fast unit. I think this card is totally playable. I think that it's a cool way to dodge an area of effect sweeper like the Conqueror, or if you know your opponent's just going to wipe out your board, you can kind of avoid that. But more than that, it's really the ability to cycle value troops right now that I see as being super strong. It's very much like Sons of Horus second wave, which will create a copy of everything in play in your hand. This isn't putting it in your hand, but the flip side is that you get it for cost 0 if you can draw it out again. And you're drawing to replace them too. So if you're digging for a certain card, or if you're digging for a finisher, this will help you find it. And hey, remember this guy? Remember this cool cat? Yeah. Damage equal to your attack. What could help with that? How about this? A wolf claw. For a Warlord. And gods know what kind of perks this is going to bring to the other Warlords, but we know that for the Warlord we've seen so far, this is pretty awesome. Gain +1 strength and bloodthirst until your next turn. So this is going to be a live strength buff on your opponent's turn as well. You'll hike up to strength 3, which can be very handy on the defense or help you even remove enemy troops if you're not already killing them on your turn. Because you also have bloodthirst. So you're going to get to attack twice on your turn. So we know that for Geigor, he can potentially attack twice for 3. Or he can use his ability twice, which basically adds up to a 6 damage direct attack for 7 energy, playing Wolfclaw once and then double tapping his 2 energy ability. And that's pretty strong, like that's practically a finisher for some factions. But here's the real piece de resistance. Look at this ability again. Let it enter into your mind and soak in deep. Now look at this guy. Holy smokes. My eyes popped out of my skull. And in keeping with the theme of the Lost 13th Company and the Underverse card we just saw, Gunnarsson is the 13th Company Wolf Priest, or one of them anyways. But man, this guy is not going to be lost in Space Wolves decks, I can tell you. So first of all, for 6 energy, you get a 6/7 body, that's a great price already. It's an Astartes troop type, which is normally a bit of a weak troop type, but this guy has ward, so he can't be targeted by cards like Ambassador Melgator, who are just the bane of Astartes troops. But Gunnarsson cares nothing for that, and the only way this guy is going to get dislodged is by the enemy feeding their troops and their warlord's face into him to get him down to 0 health. No Seek and Destroy is going to help you, no Outflank's going to help you, no Melgator is going to help you. You're just going to have to wrestle him. And more than that, he provides adjacent units. Ward. So, let's be clear, that's adjacent units. That means that Gunnarsson can give your warlord ward. I expect that this will be a staple in Space Wolves decks. I guess we'll wait for the rest of the set to come out. 6 energy could come across as being very expensive if the whole set curves super low, but honestly, for 6 energy, this is an insane card. This is a very cool card. The last feature is that for 1 energy, Gunnarsson heals 3. Now, it's worded a little vaguely here, but it was confirmed with me that Dahmar Gunnarsson is basically operating like Apothecary Coleman. In other words, for 1 energy, he's healing 3 to a friendly unit of his choice. So that could be the Warlord, that could be himself, that could be another friendly troop, but there's a huge range of options that this guy presents you with, and a massive amount of protection he gives the board and your Warlord. This is such a cool legendary card. This is a powerhouse card. I can't wait to get a chance to play with this. And I think this Space Wolves Legion is going to be super, super aggressive. Maybe the most aggressive Legion we've seen since Emperor's Children.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got for the day. But pay close attention. I'm sure with any luck and another casting of the runes, maybe we will foresee some more. Maybe. Happy hunting, wolves.
Well, that's another slash on my face. Thanks for tuning into the Best Swordsman series. Catch you on the ladder.